Hi everyone. This month we're featuring Vancouver West Side. The new numbers are out, so we'll talk about the differences in values this month compared to a year ago. I'm Erica Rendell with Remax Crest Realty. I'm a full-time realtor and I work full-time in the city of Vancouver. Okay, so detached marketplace. We've seen 48 detached home sales. The most inexpensive house that sold in Vancouver West Side was in the university area. It sold for $700,000, and the most expensive property sold for just over $12.5 million in the Shaughnessy neighborhood. Now, important to understand that the house that sold for $700,000 was a lease land title property, so you must know or learn the difference between the two title statuses. Yeah, big difference. Anyhow, house values though, they're up 4% compared to this time last year, so that's good, or that's positive. Now, when we look into condos, we saw 166 condo sales in the last 30 days. That's a lot of sales. That's a big turnaround from what we saw in May. The most affordable condo sold for $263,000, and that was in the West End in downtown. The most expensive condo sold for just under $3 million, and that was in Shaughnessy. Oh, sorry, $3.7 million, and that was in Shaughnessy neighborhood. The condo prices, though, they are up as well. They're up 6% compared to this time last year. That's a good number, 6%. When we look at what properties are actually selling for versus their listing price, pretty much on average all across the west side and the east side actually, although this focuses on the west side, properties are selling for 1% higher than the asking price, which means they're selling for more than asking. So we're seeing 100% list price sales out there, which is pretty interesting. That of course leads to multiple offers and multiple offer scenarios. So with the increased activity, we are actually seeing multiple bids going in on properties if they're priced well, of course. You don't just list your property and get it higher than asking offer. It has to be priced well and showcased well and all the rest. But anyhow, condo prices are up 6%. The most active price band in the condo world is between $500,000 and $750,000, and that's in the west side. East side, it's more like $400,000 to $500,000, but it's still very busy. The entry-level market is quite busy. Okay, now as we look into townhouses, there were 24 townhouse sales in the last 30 days in the west side. The most inexpensive townhouse that sold in Falls Creek, and that was for $718,000. The most expensive townhouse sold for just under $3 million, and that was in Kitsilano. Now, when we look at the prices a year ago in townhouses, prices are down just slightly, 0.5% compared to this time last year. We will see minimal fluctuations, month over month, but overall prices are looking positive, and they're leading towards a very busy, August and September. So we're watching things closely. Anyhow, overall, also actually in the east side, the selling ratio is 30%. When you hear realtors talk about selling ratio, analysts say that for a sustained period, if the ratio dips below 12%, that's when we start to see prices go on a downwards trend, and we start to see prices, taper off and things start to slow down. For the last couple of months, we have seen well over 12% sales ratio. In the east side right now, it's actually 30%, so full seller's market. And in the west side, we have 21% right now for all property types for this month. Last month, it was around 15%, so that's 2 months, well above 12%. So we are seeing an upwards pressure on prices. The market is active. By no means are we having a market that's tanking because of what's happened, of course, in the last few months with the whole pandemic. But what this all sort of says is that because we've seen such a definite pickup in the sales, it is a good time to sell if you are thinking of going to the marketplace. If it does work with your circumstances, you know, if it is the right timing and you were thinking about selling later in this year, it's not a bad time to perhaps get an evaluation and look at your options, because it's all about timing. If there's, you know, not a lot of properties available for sale, and you know there are buyers looking for your home, it may, you know, it may very well work in your favor. Anyhow, as always, if you've got any questions, please feel free to reach out. Yeah, it's Erica Rendell, and I'm easy to reach. My info is in the link below, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. Okay, thank you.